Simone Inzaghi first took on the role of head coach at Inter in 2021. In his time at the club, he has led the Nerazzurri to 3 Super Cup successes, 2 Coppa Italia titles, and the big one, the Scudetto, at the end of the 23-24 season. His enigmatic style of football is displayed on the pitch with an organised yet aggressive 3-5-2 system which sets his team apart from all other Italian teams. As a result of his impressive leadership, his ability to find unexpected tactical solutions, and his verbal and non-verbal communication style, he currently sits on a 65% win ratio at the time of recording. Welcome back into the channel. If you haven't guessed by now, today's video is a tactic testing video where we look at a tactic that replicates the 3-5-2 system that Simone Inzaghi has perfected at Inter. This tactic has been created by Cairozinho FM. Don't forget to check out his channel. There'll be a link in the description down below, alongside the original video where I found this tactic too. There will also be a link to the tactic in the description. Today I will test this tactic using 3 teams, Inter Milan, Aston Villa and Middlesboro, just so you can see how it performs in the hands of 3 very different teams. Before I get into that though and show you the results and break the tactic down, I need to ask for a small favour. I am currently on the road to 10,000 subscribers, and I would love it if you could help me by just hitting the subscribe button and coming along for the journey with the channel. I'm aiming to get to 10k before the release of FM24, so if you could help me out, I would greatly appreciate it. Right then, let's jump into some results. I'm going to go team by team with Inter, Aston Villa and Middlesbrough, and I'll break the tactic down at the end. Let's begin the results roundup by looking at Simone Inzaghi's actual team. He's the current manager of Inter, so these are the results for Inter. We find them top of Serie A, meaning they would claim another Scudetto trophy. They would win 34 of a possible 38 games, drawing twice and losing twice along the way. They would have a goal difference of 113, and they would win with 104 points, meaning they would be 15 points clear of rivals Milan. In terms of some of the stats for the league, Lautaro Martinez would be the top league goal scorer with 34 goals. Denzel Dumfries would get a 7.73 average rating, leading 4 other teammates for the top 5. In terms of assists, Dumfries would get 23 and Jan Sommer would get an impressive 25 clean sheets. In terms of the other competitions, the FIFA Club World Cup has not started yet. In the Champions League, they would be knocked out in the round of 16 by Real Sociedad. In the Coppa Italia, they would be knocked out in the 3rd round by Frosinone, and they would win the Italian Super Cup. If we look at the data hub for a few more numbers, we will find that they had 3.39 goals per game. They would have 0.42 conceded per game, 17.89 shots per game, and a pass completion ratio of 87.37. If we look at the squad and start off by looking at the top goal scorers, you will see Lautaro Martinez got 57 in all competitions. Marcus Thuram would score 30. And in terms of the assists, Denzel Dumfries would get 27 and Çalhanoğlu would get 22, Barella chipping in with 21. Up next, we move on to Aston Villa. We would find them finishing 3rd in the Premier League, where they would qualify for the Champions League. They would win 24 of 38 games, drawing 3 times, losing 11, having a goal difference of 33 and having 75 points. They would finish 14 points behind champions Manchester City. Ollie Watkins, though, would lead the way in Premier League goal scoring. He would get 26 goals. Alex Moreno would get 11 assists in the league, and Ollie Watkins would get 7 Player of the Match awards. Look at the other competitions that they would play in. They would get knocked out in the round of 16 by Liverpool in the Champions League, knocked out in the quarterfinals by Manchester City in the FA Cup, and knocked out by Nottingham Forest in the 4th round of the Carabao Cup. Looking at the data hub for some extra numbers then, goals per game would be 1.95, goals conceded would be 1.08, they would have 12.5 shots per game, they'd have a pass completion ratio of 86%. If we look at the squad, We can see Ollie Watkins would go on to score 44 goals across 73 appearances in all competitions. And in terms of the top assists, you would have Matty Cash and Alex Moreno with 15 and 14, meaning that most of the assists are coming from left back and the right back position. The final team we're going to check in with is Middlesboro in the Sky Bet Championship, and we find them top of the table, where they would be promoted to the Premier League the following season. They would win 30 out of a possible 46 games. They would draw 8 and lose 8-2. They would have a goal difference of 54, and they would finish on 98 points, meaning they would win the league by 4 points from Norwich. In terms of some stats for the season, Lath would be the top goal scorer with 19. Neto Borges would get 13 assists. Lath would get 6 Man of the Match awards. Looking at the other competitions they would play in, they would be knocked out in the FA Cup by Aston Villa, which is one of the other teams that we are testing. And in the Carabao Cup, they would get through to the 4th round, where they were knocked out by Brighton and Hove Albion. Looking at the data hub for those extra numbers then, goals per game in the Championship would be 2.13. Goals conceded per game would be 0.96. They'd have 13.43 shots per game and a pass completion ratio of 86.49%. In terms of goals scored, their top goal scorer would be Marcus Force. He would get 24 goals in all competitions, with Lath on 19 and Barlaser on 11. In terms of assists, it would be Borges on 14, Barlaser on 12, and Isaiah Jones on 11. So those are the 3 sets of results. Let's go into the tactic and show you what this tactic is all about then. So this is the Cairozinho FM Simone Inzaghi 3-5-2. You can see it's set up with a sweeper keeper, 3 ball-playing defenders that are protected by 2 wing-backs and a register. You have central midfielder, a Mazzala, attacking forward, and a deep lying forward. Let's break this down position by position. If you need to pause the video at any time, feel free to do so. Starting off at the back, you will have a sweeper keeper who looks like this. You'll have 3 ball-playing defenders who all look like this. On the left, you have a wing-back set to attack. On the right, you have a wing-back set to attack. In the middle, you'll have a register set to support. You'll have a central midfielder set to support. A Mazzala set to attack. A deep line forward set to support. And an advanced forward set to attack. The tactical style is custom to Cairozinho. The mentality will be positive for the team. The in possession will look like this. The in transition will look like this. And the out of possession will look like this. So that is the tactic. That's the breakdown. You've seen the result. It has won 2 out of the 3 leagues. Aston Villa would do well to finish 3rd in the Premier League. Overall, this is a fun tactic to try out. The 3 defenders really do give you a solid base. And then it's all up to that midfield to just protect the goal behind them, as well as make the chances for the 2 players at the top of the pitch. If you've got an advanced forward like Ollie Watkins who can go and bang goals in for fun, you really are going to score a lot of goals using this tactic. Lautaro Martinez is the prime example there, but obviously a bit of a freak of a player anyway. He scores goals in pretty much any system, but as I said, Ollie Watkins can score goals in this system, and I do think it is one that is fun and adventurous. If you want to go out and have a challenge, download the tactic. It will be in the description down below. Right then, I'm going to start to wrap this one up. Once again, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. I'm on the road to 10,000 subscribers. If you haven't checked out the other content on the channel, please feel free to do so. There is a little bit of something for everybody. But for this one, I hope you have fun. Download the tactic, and I'll see you on the next tactic testing video.